Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining in today. We are going to talk today about the Corridor Principle, and you guys probably don't know anything about that, but I promise you, by the end of this, you will understand it, and it'll be one of the most valuable lessons that you ever learn in your network marketing career. So we'll give it a few minutes. Again, we're going to talk about the Corridor Principle today. And this was probably one of the most impactful lessons that I've ever learned. And it's about the mindset of launching a business. Some of you guys have been in your companies for days, weeks, months, even years, and you've never launched. And it's kind of interesting because buying a kit is not launching a business. Showing up at a weekly meeting is not launching a business. Getting on a conference call is not launching a business. Going across the country to an event is not launching a business. And I learned this a few years ago in a Brian Tracy book, but it's not Brian Tracy's original information. In fact, the Corridor Principle is a result of a 12-year study at Babson College. This professor Robert something, Robich, I think, or no, Robert something anyway. He studied entrepreneurs for 12 years, and he says that the Corridor Principle states that people who, we'll talk about it in a second. So the one defining characteristic of people who are successful, so entrepreneurs, 12 years of studying, that there's one defining characteristic that entrepreneurs who go on to have great success have, that the others that fail or don't have success don't. And he says that is the willingness to launch their business with no guarantee. So I'm going to draw this out for a second, and this is going to be a great lesson. And if you're in my company, it's a refresher because I did train this from stage a couple weeks ago in front of probably 4,000 or 5,000 people. But it's one of the most valuable lessons I think you'll ever have. So the Corridor Principle is this. Think of your business as kind of a mental corridor, right? So most of us, we're standing at the edge of our corridor, right? Here's me. And you're looking in saying, okay, here's my current network, right? You might have your mom or your dad, they'll buy my product, right? They'll be my customer. Oh, my friend, she's an entrepreneur. She's always starting a business. She'll probably do this. Oh, this person likes these kind of products. And you can only see so far into the corridor, right? And you can see that. And most people make a decision to join a network marketing company based on who they think in their current network now will say yes. And that's it. So they may even dabble in it. They may even send a link out or a video out or invite them to a party. And what they do is they sit there and they prejudge, the 1 to 200 people in their network. I know this is a little backwards, so I'm trying not to write words. The 1 to 200 people in their network, and they make a decision of whether to start a business based on what they believe those people will do, right? So if you prejudge your network and say, nobody in my network wants to be healthy, I would be silly to join a health company, then you're not going to join a health company, right? If you're a man, you might say, well, I could never sell makeup or jewelry or skincare because none of my friends would want makeup or jewelry or skincare, right? This is prejudging. So the Corridor Principle states that the entrepreneurs who go on to have success, and I mean like mega success, are willing to launch into the corridor with no guarantees. Meaning, if everyone I know right now says no, do I still believe that I can succeed? And the ones who say yes because they see it, they launch their business and they have a different mindset, they have a different posture, they're more willing to learn, they're more willing to show up, they're more willing to make a decision, right? Then everyone is standing at the edge of this corridor. Well, I want to share with you something very, very, very enlightening to you guys, that I launched my business in March of 2007. I had never done a day of network marketing in my life. I had no background in nutrition. Everyone knows that I'm in nutrition companies. I have no ownership experience. I'd never owned a business. I had never started a business. I had no entrepreneur mindset. I hadn't read a single book about, anything that would help me. And I went to a presentation and I saw some information and I thought, well, I like this. And if I like it, there's got to be more people like me that want to get healthy and wouldn't mind sharing a healthy product with other people. And all of my family that were interested were already in the company. I was literally the last sibling to join. And all of my friends said no. All of my aunts and uncles and parents thought we had all lost their minds. They're like, oh, don't get too excited. These things don't last. Only the people at the top make money. All these great, wonderful things that your family says. But I still did it. And I think about sometimes like, how did I survive that? I don't even know why I even said yes in the first place, but I did. And I'm here, so it must have worked out now. But I want to tell you that when I said yes in March of 2007, I said yes because I saw people having success. There was a woman about 3 hours from me making $5,000 a week, which is about $250,000 or $260,000 a year. After 10 months, I also saw another woman 20 minutes from me. Again, this was her first time in network marketing, making $300,000 a year. She went on to make over $1 million a year. And I said, if they can do it, then so can I. I just have to figure it out. Now, this is the cool part. Let me see. When I started, my mom did buy my product. She said, if you don't get in and you don't join, then I'm just going to buy it from your sister. So hurry up and I'll buy it from you. Cause I don't know, because maybe she liked me better. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, she bought it. And then my loan processor, some of you guys know my background. I was in mortgage. One of my loan processors said, you have to buy this product from me because I got to get to my first level, which is 2 people on the minimum order. So I made a whopping $40 my first 30 days in network marketing. So congratulations. If you have made more than $40 in your first 30 days, you are far more successful than I was. I'm thinking my upline's probably thinking this chick's a bomb, right? Everyone's like fighting over me and my family. I'm like, I'm not even going to do good. I don't even know what you guys are fighting about. I don't even know if I'm going to do this, right? And awesome. My housekeeper's just turned on the vacuum. That's going to be awesome. So I said yes, even though all of my family was already in it and all my friends said no. 3 months into it, and I do not recommend this. Disclaimer, don't post anything on Craigslist. It will be flagged and removed, and it is not a way. I do not condone it. I would never, ever do it. But being new as an entrepreneur, and all my family was already in it, and all my friends said no, I was trying to be creative. So I posted something on Facebook. One person called me before it was flagged, or not Facebook, Craigslist. One person called me before it was flagged and removed and said, hey, I'm interested. I read your article and I just wrote a long story. It was everything not to do with network marketing. One person called me. And she was actually one of the most negative people I've ever met. She was horrible. She complained about all the ingredients and this and that. And she says, I know someone just like you. And I think I should introduce her to you. And she's in these network marketing things too. And I said, great. So I drove an hour and 15 minutes to go meet this girl. Well, unbeknownst to me, she was actually trying to pitch me her business. And I was like, well, okay, you go first. So I let her pitch me. And she had one of her friends there that was in the company with her. So they had like numbers on me. And then I pitched her my business. And she's like, okay, well, this sounds interesting. I'll give you a call. And I said, okay. So I get home and I log into my back office and she had signed herself up. Awesome. Okay, so she had signed herself up and I called her. I'm like, oh, well, you're interested? She goes, yeah. And I guess when I walked out, she said, I don't know what that girl's selling, but I was so enamored by her posture and her excitement that I had to join. Like, she is so sure of what she's doing, I had to join her. Stranger, a friend off, not even a friend, like a contact I made from a Craigslist posting introduces this woman cold to me, and she signed herself up and her business and the girl that was sitting there with her on the way I was driving home. That woman went to put in over 3,000 people in my team over the following 2 years. Did I know her when I said yes? No. 3,000 people in 2 years. I drove an hour, probably once or twice a week for 90 days, getting into living rooms with her, working with her, helping her present, and she watched me and she learned and she learned and she learned and she learned. And shortly after that, she was doing her own meetings and she was a leader, and we're still to this day good friends, right? She was my number one in 2 companies, by the way. Somebody I met because I was just doing the activities, right? Second person, my husband almost played professional baseball. He played for Indiana University, and he was actually recruited by the Marlins or something, but he blew his arm out his senior year. But he had a lot of friends that went on to play professional baseball, and he called one of them, and he said, oh, I think I see that stuff at the gym. He goes, yeah, my wife's selling it now. So he tells his friend, in another state, like I live in California, he lives in Ohio. He calls his buddy that lives in Washington, who plays first base at the time for the Diamondbacks, Lyle Overbay, $7 million a year earner, right? And all of a sudden, Lyle Overbay and his family start putting people in, and I'm seeing like Overbay Enterprises and this and that. And I'm like, I'm watching this happen, and I call him and I say, are you guys interested in the business? And he said, yes. I said, great. I'll come up there. So I flew from California to Washington, and in one weekend, in 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he put over 150 people in front of me. And he left on Monday to go to spring training, and I never saw him again. He was a nice guy, his wife, it was so great. And I worked with his friends. I went up to Washington probably every 5 to 7 weeks for 9 months, and I grew that team to almost 1,000 people. Again, somebody I did not know before I said yes. And they also signed up another baseball player in Arizona, and I went out to Arizona and did meetings with that, and I grew him to a couple, probably 100 or 200 people as well. Again, somebody to know. Now, the third person, right, is I'm sitting there with a mortgage broker of mine, and I knew him, but I didn't know him well. And he, this is right around 2007 when the interest rates were like not great. And he said, man, these rates aren't good. I'm worried about making commission this month. And I said, well, I know this sounds really weird, but I just started this little health company, and I'm making about $500 a month. This was like, 3 months in. I finally was making money. Actually, I think I was still losing money, but I just said that because I'm like, well, I can't say I'm losing money. He won't join for sure. And he goes, well, what's your website? And he looks it up. He goes, this looks pretty cool. He goes, my wife just quit her $250,000 a year job in health insurance because she was miserable in corporate America. And you know what? She's looking for something to do. I went and met her, and she's still a good friend to this day. Like, she was so, I want to say shy. She's not shy. She was so scared to stand in the front of her room. She wouldn't even stand in her own living room. So I helped her. She had 28 people at her first meeting, and only one person signed up as a distributor, only one. And a couple people bought some of the product. One bought a case, one bought a bottle. But we started doing these meetings regularly for the other girl that signed up. They were friends, and all these people were friends. I want to say probably 22 to 25 of them signed up. We turned that team into thousands of people. All 3 people who helped me earn probably 80 to 90% of my first big win in network marketing. I made $459,000 in about 2 years and 3 months. All of those 3 people I did not know prior to saying yes to network marketing. So if I had prejudged my network, I would not be sitting here 9.5 years later, by the way, with a team of over 10,000 people. Get this, this is going to blow your mind. So I just kept going through the corridor and keep asking people, who do you know? Who do you know? I'm selling a health product. We're helping people get healthy. We're making a bunch of money. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? And people just kept popping in from nowhere because I couldn't see these people when standing at the edge of the corridor, but they were there as I continued down the corridor doing the activities consistently. And so here I am today, over 10,000 people in my team. And aside from a couple customers, because I do tell every single person about my product, especially my family and friends, because I want them on it, because I wouldn't be in a company if I didn't. Not one distributor on my team, not one, did I know prior to network marketing. And I am a disclaimer, results not typical. I'm earning around $300,000 a year in this company after 1 year. Of course, I have 9.5 years of industry experience. And yes, I have been building my network. But if it took you 9 years to get to $300,000 a year, is your current job going to get you there now? Most people don't get to that salary. I mean, the average only two, and I know this because only 2.7% of the population in the US makes a combined household income of $250,000 a year or more. So I know that it's very, very few people that go on to make that kind of money. So even if you're starting from scratch right now, in 9 years, 8 years, actually after 5 years, I was making $1 million a year, almost $1 million a year. And while having 3 kids, retired myself after 8 months in the industry, retired my husband after 5 years. He actually now owns his own business, brick and mortar, and we have flexibility. You know, we go where we want, when we want, with who we want. We work our own schedules. We work on our own hours. He coaches my daughter's softball. He coaches her basketball. You know, I get to pick up the kids after school. I get to go volunteer in the classroom. We get to be parents, and I live by design now. So you got to ask yourself, have you launched your business? Launching is a lot different than dabbling. Dabbling is, I'm going to send out a little link here and there. I'm going to make a phone call here and there. Well, when you dabble, you're going to have dabbling results. Dabbling doesn't make you money. If you dabble, you're going to get dabble results. If you consistently work your business and launching a business, and I understand, and yesterday, episode 4 was all about time management. So I understand that you might have a job and kids and Tara, and my plate's full. Go back and watch episode 4. I teach you how to build your business in 8 to 10 hours. And that's all you really need. If you want to go faster, you can absolutely up that. You know, I was doing as much as I could. I wasn't watching TV. I wasn't playing sports. I wasn't going to happy hour a lot. I made a lot of sacrifices, but it's definitely paid off. So launching is a mindset. When I decided after about 3 months to launch my business, it was like when people say, what do you do? I was still making a really good, like $150,000 a year in wholesale mortgage, but I didn't say I'm a wholesale mortgage rep. I said I'm a wellness entrepreneur. Why? I didn't want to build my wholesale mortgages company's brand, right? I wanted to build my business. So when I say launch, I mean, I talked about it everywhere I went. My intention was, I own this business and it's going to be as big or small as I make it to be. So I decided very early on that I was going to go as big as I could. And that yielded me 5 months later replacing my 6-figure income and never going back to work. Now in 9 years I've been full-time in the industry, but I launched my business. There's nobody in my life that doesn't know what I do. Now, is everyone a customer? No, that's okay. I'm not their customer, you know, just because my friend sells something doesn't mean I automatically buy it from them either. I buy things that I need. You know, if my good friend's a realtor, I'm going to use them. If my good friend's a plumber and I need a plumber, I'm going to call them, of course. But if they sell something I don't want or I don't need, I'm not going to just buy it to just buy stuff, right? Launching means that you have such a big vision that everyone needs what you have. Right? Don't join a company if you think only a small percentage of the population would like what you have. I made that mistake in company too. I joined this incredible company and it's no longer in business. And we used to test people's DNA through a mouth swab and custom formulate supplements to them based on their genetic deficiencies that they inherited from their parents that puts them at risk for certain diseases. Sounds really cool, except for it was very expensive and you had to take 10 capsules a day. And people literally fell asleep at our meetings. It was so sciencey, right? I loved it, but so few people did. In fact, I had a woman, she lived in a $3 million house, and she's like, my husband's complaining about this $120 or $140 coming off my credit card. And I was like, if a millionaire is not my market, who is? If she can't afford it, then the masses won't afford it. And that's when I realized I gotta stop selling to a very small amount of people. So, you know, sometimes if you have a very expensive product or it's very crazy off the charts, radical and forward thinking like that was, it might not be the best time. It sounded good. Oh my God, I was on a cutting edge of DNA. Not so much. Didn't work out. I got to 100,000 a year and that was about it. And then prior to that, or after that, I got into a weight loss company. And because obesity is the fastest growing disease in the country, I was able to explode that business to 160 million in sales in 12 countries, me and my team, and earn about $2.5 million because everyone needed a weight loss, right? And so right now I'm in another company and we don't talk about that, but here's the bottom line is if you don't think everyone could be your customer, then you are already playing at a disadvantage. right? Like I love jewelry, but I would never get into a jewelry marketing company just personally because first of all, it's not my passion. My passion is health and wellness, but I automatically know that 50% of the population, which are men, are out. They're out. Why would I limit, there's 322 million people in the United States. Why would I cut out 160 million off the top, right? So that's just a little side tip that, you guys may not have thought about in terms of building a business. Most people are in their current company because a friend or family member took them to a presentation. Well, after 9 years of experience in the industry, I knew what I wanted. So I sought out this company. I did the research. I, looked at every company, and today, still a year later, I think it was for me and what I want and for my goals and my passion and my values, I'm in the company of my dreams, right? That's what you should feel. Don't be in a company because your friend's in it or your relative's in it. This is a business, right? You're launching a business that I plan on having this business and this income for the rest of my life. I plan on giving it to my children. It's willable. So when you launch a business, when people talk to you about it, even if they don't say yes, they should leave going, I don't even know what she's talking about, but all I know is she knows she's going to be successful. She is on a mission. She knows who she is, where she's going, and why she's going there, right? Everyone that meets me knows that I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing two things. I have a definiteness of purpose. I am going to spend the rest of my life, helping people get healthy through products and education. The wellness industry needs millions more distributors, millions of more people like me, because we have absolutely horrible, skyrocketing rates. Cancer has gone up from 1 in 33 100 years ago to 1 in 3 now. Heart disease, obesity, diabetes. 100 million Americans have diabetes or something. It's absolutely ridiculous, right? So I'm going to spend the rest of my life helping people get healthy. The second thing I'm going to do for the rest of my life is I'm only one person. I'm a mom of 3. I'm very busy with anybody. I have a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 16-year-old. In every sports activity, cooking, drama, jazz band, scouts, basketball, volleyball, soccer, and that's not even the whole list. So I have a busy life. I'm only one person. I can only sell the product directly to so many people, right? It's funny, my housekeeper's here today. She's so great. She walks in, she goes, I need 2 more of, quantity of your product. Like right off the bat. That's over half what I'm going to pay her today. She's spending on my product. Like everyone in my life knows what I do, right? But I'm only one person. So I have to spend the rest of my life doing this, helping create and train entrepreneurs to go out and make a difference. Because at this point, I'm pretty sure with my mindset of reading over 100 books and the skill set and the success I've had, I can go into any company, real estate, software, sales, car, houses, whatever, and I could make a lot of money. It stopped being about income a long time ago for me. It's about impact. At the end of my life, I want to say, I believe my efforts every day, day in and day out, made a difference in this world, started to make a dent in the growing epidemic of disease. I really want that. That's my life's mission. So that's why I do this all day, every day. That's why I take calls, that's why I make sacrifices. That's why I am still doing this full time, despite the fact that, the money is going to come in whether I stop or not, because it has nothing to do with that. You can make income, but you can also make an impact. And at the end of my life, I won't even think about the money or the ranks or the title. I'll think, I remember that one person who's, came in through my team and I read a testimony that the product changed her life. Or I remember a single mom on my team in the last 5 years who's made over $1 million. A single mom, financially devastated, borrowed money to get into a company and, made $1 million. Like I know that we're making a difference, right? We're making a difference in people's health, and we're making a difference in people's wealth. And I apologize if you are not in a product company. There's a lot of people in this industry and services, and that's awesome. You're probably in it because you feel very passionate about your service, and you should. I get out of bed. Everyone says, Tara, how do you stay motivated, right? Because I love what I do. I love the stories. I love the results we're having. So when I say launch a business, you're launching, meaning you're going to do this until you're going to succeed until you are obsessed with it in a healthy way. Meaning every time that you're not at work or at church or with your friends or with your family, you're thinking about it. You're getting creative. Who can I talk to? Who is my customer? You have big vision and big passion about it. You have a list of every kind of person, every type of person that could be your potential customer, every type of entrepreneur or business owner that could be a potential business partner. Launching a business is, you are exhausting your resources, right? I always tell people, you want to know what it's really like to have the mindset of launching a business. Pretend that your entire upline is taken to a planet far, far away, just temporarily, and they're frozen in time, so they're not being harmed. And you are asked to be the master distributor of your company that you're in right now. Would you do it? Would you build? Right? If you had the mindset like, okay, it's all in you, Tara, you have to build the whole company, what would you do? You would go out and recruit people. Hey, I'm number one. Well, guess what? You are number one. You are the top of your entire organization. You are the master distributor of your organization. Stop looking up and down and all around. Build your team down. And the mindset of a launch is, I will find people who will believe in what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And they will come with me because they have the same goals. You're looking for people like you. People who want to help people. Like for me, I'm looking for people who want to help people get healthy. And I'm looking for people who want to make money by helping people get healthy. I know that. I'm clear on that. There is absolutely, no doubt in my mind that that's what I'm going to spend my life doing. That's the mindset of a launch. That means that you go through the corridor, you proceed in your business with no guarantees, knowing that if you continually do the thing and do the activities, share the product, share the business, that eventually you will find people like you. Another story, this is long-term vision, right? In my first company, it was a binary, which means I had two legs. Somebody, my main girl, the first girl I talked about, she said, hey, there's a girl in your area, 18 levels down on my big leg. Wouldn't never make a dime if this lady put in 5,000 people. But she said, will you go do me a favor and go meet with her, her niece and her boyfriend? I'm like, okay. So at 9:30 at night, I drive 20 minutes, go to the guy's office building. He puts one person on the phone. And he didn't even know her. He goes, I met her one time at a real estate seminar, but she's got that mindset. And she's kind of like you. Called her. Her husband was going through horrible health problems. She bought the product. She had to hound me. She's like, okay, I'm ready to sign up. I'm like, I called the girl. I'm like, hey, the girl's ready to sign up. Like, sign her up. I went out and met with her, right? 18 levels down on my big leg that I wouldn't make a penny on if she joined, right? That woman ended up being in my upline in the next company. And in my last company over the last 5 years, she earned $1 million on my team because I drove, and obviously I made probably a good lot of money out of that too. Because I drove 4 years earlier, 20 minutes in the middle of the night to meet with somebody's friend's cousin's boyfriend, and he put me on the phone with one person. She did over $1 million a month in sales. Hang on, guys. Hey, can you stop for my 5 minutes? Yeah. Thank you. I'm on the phone. Nothing like the vacuum cleaner right outside of your office door. I couldn't even hear myself think. So because I said yes, because I continued to do the activity and met with this person, she ended up being in my team a few years later, doing over $1 million a month in sales, and became herself a millionaire, made $1 million in 3 years. Because I said yes. That's the corridor principle. Continuing down through your business with no guarantees, thinking if you just keep asking people, who do you know who? I launched a business. This is my product or service. This is my opportunity. Who do you know that might be interested? You will find people, and you're going to continue to up your game, be a professional, and cultivate those relationships, because some of them don't mature for years. Last story, and then we'll go to Q&A. I had a girl in my second company, in the jean company. And she was not going to be interested in my prior company to this, the one I was in for 5 years, because of some of the ingredients. She is a health and wellness professional. She might even be on this. And loves it, but won't compromise on artificial anything. So 5 years goes by, and I don't even really talk to her more than hi, bye, see her down around town. She lives in my town, and Facebook. And I got in this company, and 6 months into it, I called her. I texted her. I said, okay, I got to talk to you. She goes, are you calling to talk to me about your current company? I said, yes. She goes, I was already in it 5 years ago. I said, I don't care. I don't care that you were in 5 years ago. 5 years ago is a different company. We have new products, we have new countries, we have new technologies, and you get to work with me. I met with her, sat down. I didn't bring a presentation or anything. We just sat, chatted. She blew through 4 ranks in her first 3 weeks on my team. Again, a relationship that I had 5 years ago. 5 years ago. I went to a networking group and one guy came and he left early. I thought he wasn't interested, introduced me to his daughter. She joined my team as a nutritionist, introduced me to this gal. And 5 years later, I called her and now she's on my team doing thousands and thousands of dollars in sales a month, right? And this was just a few months ago. So long-term vision. When you're launching, you're continuing to do this professionally and talk to anybody everywhere, follow every lead, meet with every person, show up at every living room. You never know the people who you think won't, and the people who you don't think won't, they will. This is an industry where you don't get to decide. You are just looking for people who are looking, and you never know when someone wants to change their life, whether it's physically, whether it's financially. You never know. So the corridor principle states that you launch your business with no guarantees and you continue to do this. And I always say, even a blind squirrel finds a nut, right? But continue down the path and do a couple things. Number one, continue growing your mindset. Continue adding to your value. Be an expert in your field, right? I am such a geek that with my products, I know everything about them. Why I spend so much time researching it? Because when my customer asks me something, I sound intelligent when I answer. I know everything about my comp plan. Why? Because when my business partners ask me, I don't want to be like, I don't know how we get paid. I know how we get paid. That's important. We're entrepreneurs. This is why people join. They join network marketing to make money. I have to know how people get paid. So be an expert. And if you continue to up-level your game, your mindset, your skill set, and your leadership, and you continue down that corridor, you will meet people, and doors and windows that you couldn't see before you joined will open for you, right? They will open up. And that's why I have a team of over 10,000 people 9.5 years later that I didn't know prior to joining this industry, because I continually built my network. So I hope that was helpful. Launch your business. Launching means that you are going to do this no matter what. That quitting, failing, not an option. That you don't care about rejection, about ridicule. You don't care what comes your way, what obstacles. I was still working, during the 5 weeks that my mom was dying. She got diagnosed with lung cancer. 5 weeks later, she was dead. And I was in the hospital every day with my laptop working. And a lot of people say, well, my team would have understood if I took some time off, right? But I didn't, because it's my business. And I would only be taking time off from my business. I don't call in sick on me. Launching is like, I want my team to be the biggest and badass in the whole world, right? That's the mindset you have, is how far can I go? What else is possible? So questions, guys, just go and put in the chat here if you guys have any questions. Hi. Oh my goodness, so many friends. Hi everyone. Sorry, I've been actually thinking and I haven't been on the thread. So any questions before I wrap up here? Hi, oh my gosh, so many friends. Hey everyone. And this will be available on YouTube, guys. I'm going to do this probably every day. I'm sure there's some days I'll be traveling or whatnot. I won't be able to do this, but this is episode 5. If you go to my YouTube, it's YouTube/Create Wealth with Tara, and subscribe. You will get notified every time I do an episode, because they do get buried in my newsfeed. Obviously this will be in my newsfeed, but I do have them. I upload them every single day to YouTube. So subscribe and you'll never miss an episode. This is episode 5. And turn your lunchtime into learning time. Did you do a Facebook launch? No. My first company, I wasn't in Facebook. My third company, I couldn't because of a no-compete. And this last year, because of a no-compete, I could not. So no. I've used Facebook just to relay stories and give information. But if you're new and you have not done network marketing, what I suggest, yes and no, 93% of whether people join you is not fact. So no matter what you put on Facebook, it's not going to make a difference. You got to pick up the phone, because 93% of all communications with two human beings and nonverbal, they are going to join you because you're excited and you're convicted. They're not going to join you because of product and details and comp plans. This is a people business wrapped around a product or service. This is people join people, right? And people join people who know who they are and why they're going there. And you cannot convey that with as many emojis and emoticons and exclamation points and smiley faces. You cannot relay the same posture through human interaction. So I say no. I mean, you can talk about it on Facebook, you can tease it on Facebook, you continue to drip on Facebook, but just know if you put it on Facebook that your friend might not answer your call because she thinks you're going to call her about one of those things. So I would just say whatever your upline does, but I mean, you might want to say I'm doing something exciting. I can't wait to talk to you about it. Depends. Is your Facebook cold or warm market? That's a hi, Angie. Angie, oh, one of my very oldest best friends just joined. Hi. So any other questions about launching? That's a great question, by the way, Sonia. I do use it. I do use Facebook. I tease it. I talk about education in the field that my product is. So I give general education. I also give general business tips. Not only have I been in the industry for 9.5 years, but I've read over 100 books. I've seen Tony Robbins, Danny Johnson. I watch videos. I've spent a year and $12,000 with John Maxwell with leadership training. So I take that information because the average person doesn't read a book after high school. So I try to just give little tidbits, business tips here and there, just to give people little nuggets to hopefully go out and apply them and have some success. So yes, I mean, Facebook is a great tool, and I've probably made hundreds of thousands of dollars from people that I've recruited off Facebook. But it was after I already created my story. I'm a belly-to-belly person, right? Call your friends and family. The worst thing someone can say is when they're launching their business is, I don't want to bug my friends and family. Well, that's terrible, because if my family felt that way, I wouldn't be a multimillionaire right now. Whew, thank God they bugged me. All right, any other questions? I know there's quite a delay, so I'll just wait here for a second. If you liked this training, please give me a like or love, and make sure that you can tag someone after we're done. It will be on my Facebook feed. And again, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and never miss an episode. So I'm enjoying this. I appreciate all of you guys who've been following along in this last week, and episode 6 will be here tomorrow. So thank you guys so much. And if you guys want to bring your questions earlier, I will, because there is a little bit of a delay, I can answer them. Launching includes speaking to new people every day as well as home launches. Yes. Sam Head, yes. Launching is following every lead, calling your list, talking to people. People say, what's new? I launched a business, and I'm looking for 2 types of people. People want to be customers, and people want to make a business out of this. Who do you know, right? Well, what are you doing? Well, let me give you some information and invite them to view the information. So launching is, you will uncover every stone until you find everybody and follow up every lead. And then when you find the people, you pour into them and you help them launch. And then they find people and you help them launch. And you just continue. You should be launching for the rest of your life. All right, well, thank you guys. I appreciate this, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day, beautiful people.